Bathrobe business. I'm not in my bathrobe, nor am I at home. I'm actually at work. We had a snowstorm yesterday, so I had to leave work for work early, and I was still late. So I'm doing this episode from my office. So I'm going to keep it pretty short and sweet. I think tomorrow is going to be the major news story day because that's when CPI data is going to come out for December. Everybody's anticipating those numbers, thinking those numbers are going to be down. I gamble that I think those numbers are going to be up. I think CPI is going to be up, and I think this is going to be further sign that there's not going to be rate cuts this year. But we will see. We'll find out in about 24 hours. Let's get into the numbers. So Dow is up about 75 points, S&P is up 10, NASDAQ is up 55. Oil is up just a hair at 50 cents a barrel at $72 a barrel. My favorite indicator, as always, gold, is actually down from where its baseline has been. So for weeks now, we've talked about the $2,040 mark. It is at $2,035. So that's always a good sign. So the fact that gold is below that benchmark is actually a good sign for the economy. It could be because of the anticipated CPI data. This could be some speculation of people getting rid of gold, thinking that the economy is doing better than it actually is. And I don't necessarily think inflation is detrimental to the economy. That's a complicated question, but I think that number could be in response to anticipated CPI data. The major stories of the morning, Amazon is cutting hundreds of jobs in their Prime Video and MGM Studio divisions. This actually comes after their cuts from last year where they cut, it was the largest layoff in U.S. history. I believe about 27,000 jobs were cut. This is a much smaller cut. I had trouble finding numbers. All I could find was hundreds, that they were cutting hundreds of jobs, but it didn't actually specify the number. At the same time, their Twitch division, they actually cut another 500 jobs. So all in all, I wouldn't be surprised if there was 1,000 cuts at Amazon across the various companies, but I still don't have a hard number on that. This was a story I found very interesting because the rich just get richer. Saudi estimates that they have untapped mineral potential of 2.5 trillion, specifically in phosphate, gold, copper, and zinc. And this is only with 30% of exploration of the Arabian Shield, which is a geographical rock formation essentially across the west side of Saudi Arabia. So only 30% of it has been analyzed. And they originally thought it only had 1.3 trillion of wealth, but it's now been estimated that's at least 2.5, again, with only 30% of that area being analyzed. It is an exploration site already, so there is excavation, active mining there going on already, but it's likely to intensify, and they are opening up to new contracts into those areas for mining operations. Phosphate's going to be the interesting one because there's a lot of issues with phosphate right now with destabilization in Ukraine and Russia. A lot of phosphate reserves have traditionally come from those regions. And so the fact that Saudi Arabia has phosphate deposits is actually pretty good for the world economy because it's another alternative so that phosphate isn't disrupted. Phosphate's very important with farming and agriculture. With a growing world population, you're always requiring more phosphate as a basic mineral for farming. So that's actually probably one of the more quiet ones that no one's talking about, but phosphate's actually a major mining mineral. Next story is about housing. So the average contract rate for a 30-year mortgage went up just a hair. So mortgage rates went up to 6.81% from 6.76% from last week. But applications to refinance home loans jumped 19% from where they were last week. That's also a 30% jump from where it was at the same point last year. So 30% more people are refinancing this year than they were last year. But even though applications for mortgages to purchase a new house rose about 6% from last week, it's actually down 16% from where it was the week before. Not the week before, I'm sorry, the same week last year. So overall, house purchases are actually down a little bit by 16% year to year. The next story is about the Houthi rebels that we talk about often. So there's a lot going on there. There have been military actions now from the United States. They shot down, I found two numbers. I saw that there were 17 drones. I found some that said 24 drones have been shot down. It's cost multiple millions of dollars. And unfortunately with the Houthis, they're sending out drones. They're probably just $2,000 to $10,000 in cost. So clearly there's a large disparity in the amount of wealth we use in our military actions and amount they use. However, more and more ships are being diverted from the Red Sea. So this is a major economic story simply because it's going to cause cost of goods to go up. So that's why I think the CPI numbers are going to start getting skewed, even if not tomorrow. Definitely, I think by January CPI numbers, this is going to be effective at skewing CPI because the cost of goods is going to be much higher. I heard a report earlier this morning that cost of goods could, I should say, double within the next year if this continues because of the fact that they have to go around the Cape of Good Hope in Africa. That's pretty much it. Like I said, it's going to be a little short and sweet today because I'm already at work. I got to jump into it, but I hope you guys have a productive day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.